The SMS Seeadler, or Sea Eagle, was a notable vessel with a history marked by audacious naval raids during World War I, and it was possibly the last ever warfighting sailing ship. Originally constructed as the Pass of Balmaha, this three-masted ship was built in 1888 by Robert Duncan and Company in Port Glasgow, Scotland. Measuring 245 feet in length, it was designed as a large steel-hull sailing ship for cargo transport. By the early 20th century, it was engaged in shipping in cotton from New York to Russia. In June 1915, the Pass of Balmaha, while en route to Kirkwall in the Orkney Islands, was intercepted by the British armoured merchant cruiser HMS Victorian. The British were suspicious of its cargo and ordered the ship to Kirkwall for further inspection. British Marines were placed on board and the American flag was replaced with a British Union Jack. But then the ship was soon intercepted by the German submarine U-36. In a bid to avoid capture, Captain Scott of the Pass of Balmaha attempted to deceive U-36 by rehoisting the American flag and locking the British Marines below decks. However, U-36 commander Captain Ernest Graf directed the vessel to Cuxhaven, Germany for further inspection. At Cuxhaven, the Germans seized the ship and repurposed it. By 1916, the Allies' blockade made it difficult for German warships to operate effectively as they had no ports in which to resupply their ships with coal. But a sail ship could stay out of port much longer. The German Navy decided to convert the captured vessel into a commerce raider. The ship was renamed the SMS Seeadler and was equipped with an auxiliary engine and accommodation for additional crew and prisoners, and concealed armaments including a 105mm cannon and some machine guns. Under the command of Felix von Luckner, the Seeadler set sail on December 21, 1916. The ship was disguised as a Norwegian cargo vessel, and the crew was picked because many of them were fluent in Norwegian. This route proved successful when on Christmas Day the Seeadler was stopped by the British armoured merchant cruiser HMS Avenger. The British boarding crew failed to detect the deception, allowing the Seeadler to continue its voyage. Luckner's raiding campaign began in earnest in January 1917. On the 9th, the Seeadler captured its first prize, the 3,268-ton steamer the Gladys Royal, which was carrying coal from Cardiff to Buenos Aires. The following day, the Seeadler encountered the Lundy Island, a steamship carrying sugar from Madagascar. Luckner's campaign continued with impressive efficiency. On January 21st, the Seeadler captured a French bark Charles Gounod, which was carrying corn. Over the next few weeks, the Seeadler captured and sank several more ships. The British steamer Pinmore, which Luckner had previously sailed on, was also taken and sculled after being used for resupply. As the Seeadler continued its raiding, it faced the challenge of managing nearly 300 prisoners taken from various captured ships. To address this, on March 20th, Luckner arranged for the French bark Cambron to take prisoners aboard, reducing the Seeadler's burden. With the rigging of the Cambron reduced, the Seeadler was able to escape before its location could be reported to pursuing ships. The Royal Navy became aware of the Seeadler's general location and set a trap with an armoured cruiser at Cape Horn. However, a severe storm drove the Seeadler south before it could reach the trap. By April 18th, the ship had entered the Pacific Ocean and sailed north along the Chilean coast. In early June, having learned of the United States' entry into the war, Luckner focused on American shipping, capturing and sinking vessels such as the A.B. Johnson, the R.C. Slade, and the Manila. By July 1917, the Seeadler had been at sea for almost a year and a half and required maintenance, and Luckner chose the remote island of Mopilia in the Society Islands for this purpose. However, on August 2nd, the ship was wrecked on a coral reef when a tsunami hit. Luckily, some provisions could be salvaged as well as two of the ship's boats. Luckner and a small group of men set out from one of the ship's boats to capture another vessel. The journey took them over 2,300 miles across multiple islands as they pretended to be Norwegians. They eventually ended up on the Fijian island of Okaya, where they were eventually apprehended by the local authorities. The group was transferred to a New Zealand prisoner of war camp on Motuhe Island. Back in Mopilia, the remaining crew managed to capture a French trading vessel and renamed it the Fortuna. They left their American prisoners behind and set sail for South America. Unfortunately, Fortuna struck on charted rocks off Easter Island and was lost, and the crew was interned by the Chilean authorities. Meanwhile, Captain Scott of the A.B. Johnson and his companions used the second boat salvaged from the wreck of the Seeadler and sailed 990 miles to Pago Pago to report the Seeadler's activities and arrange for the rescue of the remaining prisoners in Mopilia. Despite these setbacks, Felix von Luckner's resilience did not wane. On December 13, 1917, he orchestrated a daring escape from Motuhe Island using a commandeered motorboat. Luckner tried to use the motorboat to get to a New Zealand provisioning station and commandeer a larger ship, but Luckner's efforts to evade capture were ultimately unsuccessful. He spent the rest of the war as a POW and was repatriated to Germany after the war, concluding a remarkable chapter in naval history. The story of the SMS Seeadler isn't just a story of the last warfighting sailing ship. It is also a story about the audacious and ingenious captain who attempted to adapt to increasingly difficult circumstances but was ultimately unsuccessful. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Data Story. This is a brand new channel, so please let me know what you liked, what I can improve. And if you enjoyed the content and would like to see more, please like and subscribe. See you next time.